What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So we got some breaking news here. Well, we got a couple different things here for you guys in this video. First, we have new information here that drones have been flying over very important military installations here, military bases in the United States for a long time. And you won't believe the US military's response to this here. And they don't even know where these drones are coming from. Probably enemies of the state. I'm going to give you the details here. I'll let you hear it here in this video. As well as Iran has a hit list out for the United States. I'll let you see and hear who's on the hit list and the White House's response to this. Some shocking information here in this video. Let's jump right in. This is a wild video. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We are live right now. Let me know your city, your state, or even your country here, as we have people tuning in here all around the world. Some shocking information here. I know this is crazy here as we get closer and closer here to the 2024 presidential election. Things are heating up here. Also, thanks so much for liking these videos. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss out on new information. We typically go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so first here, take a listen here to this information here being released just now about these drones that have been surveilling and flying over U.S. military bases. Take a listen to this.
New reports that mysterious drones are swarming a U.S. military base and did so for 17 days in December of last year. Wow. New reports of something that happened in December that breached our national security? The Pentagon says it's stumped with no idea who is behind it. The incident recalls the Chinese spy balloon. Remember, I said this is kind of reminiscent of that. Remember, it floated all across the country last year. It hovered over some top secret sites for days before the military finally shot it down. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin is at the Pentagon. Jennifer, I'm worried about the fact that they didn't know. I mean, I can accept they don't tell us, but they didn't know?
Well, they knew, but they didn't know who was behind it. This was an incredible, well-reported scoop, Harris, from our colleagues at the Wall Street Journal and confirmed to us by Pentagon officials early this morning. In December 2023, U.S. Air Force commanders at Langley Air Force Base in Southern Virginia, home to the F-22 Raptors, noticed over a period of 17 days, dozens of unidentified drones would begin flying over the base shortly after dusk each night. The Air Force, by federal law, was not allowed to shoot these mystery drones out of the sky. The White House reportedly called for national security meetings to discuss how to address drones possibly sent by a foreign adversary. There were concerns about using electronic warfare or jamming systems for fear of interfering with commercial air travel over the holidays. 3 months earlier, mysterious drones were also spotted flying over a sensitive nuclear facility in Nevada. It is not clear whether these incidents were related. Here are some of the police reports from Virginia near Langley Air Force Base. December 6th, 10 p.m. Multiple drones have been tracked over Langley Air Force Base, and one was seen descending in the area of Marshall Street or Gosnold's Hope Park. The drone is not a Langley Air Force Base drone. December 7th, 11:07 p.m. Langley is reporting one that's about 25 feet off the ground, possibly landed at Gosnold's Hope. Myself and the other agent will be at 201 Drummond's at the horse pasture in the field, getting a strong signal. Adding to the mystery, on January 5th, a Chinese international student, Fengyang Shi, studying at University of Minnesota, was found trying to fish a drone out of a tree in Newport News, Virginia. Images taken by the drone showed aerial photos of the Huntington Ingalls facility, which builds nuclear submarines for the military and Ford-class aircraft carriers. He was then arrested 13 days later in San Francisco with a one-way ticket back to China. He was given a 6-month sentence. The drone mystery remains unsolved, Harris, but it certainly has the attention of Pentagon brass. Harris?
Well, I would hope so. I mean, drones are used in wartime. We've had 2 attempted assassinations on a past president. I mean, things flying in the sky, and a drone can hover and go low too and blow up. We need to know who's doing it.
So this report coming out now here And this is only because it was found out by, what was it, the New York Times, or else they wouldn't even have told us about it. Okay. And these are drone reports coming out, going over military bases and nuclear facilities. Okay. How many other times has this happened? How many other times has this happened? And they're not telling about us. And I get it, right? They're not gonna go and report this to the public here. This is stuff going on over military bases. This is defense stuff, right? They don't go and report this stuff to the public because it's defense, right? I get it, right? They're not gonna go and report stuff to the public, which is military in nature. The problem here is that they're not even allowed to shoot him down, or they're not shooting him down, right? You would think, or you should think, that they should be shooting down drones going into military airspace. What world do we live in now? Drones that fly over U.S. military bases in other countries that come at them, they shoot them down immediately. But oh no, here in the United States, drones that go to military bases, oh, we can't shoot them down. We'll just let them do whatever they want to do, or wait till they explode, wait till they shoot at us, wait till they, who knows what they're doing, right? So you could have Chinese nationals, Chinese national students, Iranians, whoever who knows what they're doing. Think about this stuff. We are in times of warfare. We have two major wars going on. We have the Ukrainian war that's been going on for 2.5 years. We have the Middle East war that's been going on for over a year now. And we have threats going on right now to the United States almost on a daily, weekly basis. And this is the stuff that's going on. And we only know about this particular instance because a journalist found out about it. How many other times is this type of stuff going on that we don't know about? And think about other stuff that happened, like 9/11, all these other instances, right? That we didn't, there was maybe reports of that nobody took seriously until it actually happened. Think about what has happened to former President Donald Trump, 2 attempted assassinations, and then I'm going to go into this story right now. White House warns Iran over threats to Trump, and Iran has a hit list of former Trump aides. The U.S. is scrambling to protect them. Take a listen to this.
Police arrested a man with loaded guns and a fake press pass outside of former President Trump's rally in Coachella, California, Saturday. Brian Kilmeade spoke to the local sheriff this morning on Fox and Friends.
The original deputy that stopped him and talked to him and noticed all these things and eventually ended up getting his consent to search the vehicle, located all of these items. So had he not had that encounter with that deputy, he certainly would have been on the grounds. Where he would have more than likely ended up was probably only a few hundred yards, couple hundred yards from the stage where President Trump eventually was. But that's all, that's all speculation. We don't know because we did our job and we stopped him from getting on the grounds in the first place.
Well, thankfully, they did stop him. But there's another threat that the Justice Department is growing increasingly concerned about, and that's Iran. Iran has a hit list of former Trump aides involved in the strike that took out Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. And the DOJ is warning that Iran's efforts to assassinate Trump and members of that list are much more extensive and aggressive than previously reported. And it is hard to protect them all. Griff, backtracking for a moment to what happened at Coachella. This was great law enforcement work. This is a sign that security has been increased. There used to be just inner, outer perimeter, outer's what law enforcement controlled. This guy did not even make it to Secret Service. They just noticed his car looking a little junky, asked some questions, and he never even got to the Secret Service checkpoint.
Great police work. Kudos to the sheriff. And it doesn't appear this was an assassination attempt. But the questions that we're left with now are, one, we don't know a lot about this guy, even though he appeared to be a Trump supporter of sorts. Why was he trying to get to the rally with these guns? And yet, under California law, he was released after he was arrested because the charges were misdemeanors. So wouldn't you think, whatever the deeper investigation would be on this guy, we should at least hold him for a few days while we figure out to make sure there are no ties? In the larger picture, it's a stark reminder of what I think is maybe an inflection point in this country about the threats to a political candidate. The top political candidate in this case has had 2 attempts on his life. Now this, and we're in a threat environment that long after this election's over, past November 5th, we need to be thinking about, what we're going to do to address these things. And now you have this larger list. Look, Qasem Soleimani's death, the people that are upset about that have long memories, and they'll wait a long time to avenge justice on that. So I think there's so many parts of this, but with respect to California, it does highlight the fact that should we have the law that allowed this guy to be released? He's free out on bond today.
Yeah, so think about this. This is yet another potential guy who went to assassinate former President Donald Trump. He goes there with a fake press pass and guns. And what was he going there to do? I mean, common sense, right? Thinks that we all know what was he was going there to do. And California releases him. Unbelievable. So now this guy's out there on the loose. And this comes here as the White House warns Iran over threats to Trump, saying the White House says the United States has been closely tracking Iranian threats against former President Donald Trump for years and warns of severe consequences if Tehran attacks any U.S. citizen. Quote, "We consider this a national and homeland security matter of the highest priority, and we strongly condemn Iran for these brazen threats." Well, maybe the Biden administration shouldn't have been buddy-buddy with them before. I get that maybe they were trying to appease them and hope that that would work, but clearly it hasn't. And this goes with that they only respond to force and strength because obviously everything else hasn't worked. White House says, should Iran attack any of our citizens, including those who continue to serve the United States or those who have formerly served, aka former President Donald Trump, Iran will face severe consequences, says White House National Security Council spokesman Sean Savitt. This comes here as it's being reported that Iran has a hit list of former Trump aides, and the U.S. is scrambling to protect them. Roughly a dozen national security aides from the Trump White House are feared to be on Iran's hit list, and it's hard to protect them all. U.S. officials are coming to a troubling realization about Iran's repeated threats to kill former President Donald Trump and some of his former top generals and national security strategists. And it appears that Iran is not bluffing, and they're not giving up anytime soon. And it makes you wonder, who is Iran paying that's in the United States to try to perform these tasks? Was it this last guy? Was it the former guy that did the attempted assassination? Was the previous guy before that? Are they paying some of their relatives, their brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles? Even though those guys may have been Americans, were they being paid off by Iran? Think about that. Yeah, Iran has been openly threatening Trump and those who oversaw his national security strategy since January 2020, when Trump ordered a drone strike, killing Soleimani, then Iran's most powerful military general. Since then, Iran has put out videos depicting future assassinations of Trump and others who helped orchestrate that, pushing out their arrest and extradition and issuing menacing statements promising revenge. Politico has spoke with 24 people with direct knowledge of that strike or the ensuing assassination threat, including current and former U.S. lawmakers, Secret Service agents, and congressional aides and senior U.S. officials, some who wish to remain anonymous due to their ongoing threats against them or their sensitivity of their work. Yikes. So let me know your thoughts in the comments or the chats. Don't forget to like this video, share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information. And if you haven't yet, subscribe down below. Click the bell icon after subscribing so you don't miss out on new videos that typically come out here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click here to see U.S. water systems and money apps that were hacked, affecting millions of people. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.